So I've got another interesting phone here to take a look at today. It's the Oppo R9S Plus. So it's the larger version that has that optical image stabilized camera, 16 megapixels, also a front-facing 16 megapixel camera, 4000 milliamp hour battery, powered by a Snapdragon 653, 6 gigabytes of RAM, 1080p screen, 6 inches, and it also has 64 gigabytes of internal storage. So spec-wise, it looks very good. This is going to be the first Oppo phone I've checked out. Now this one here, got it from China, DHL, and of course I paid taxes on it. So let's have a look at the packaging. Very well packed up, which is good. Alright, so power adapter, US to EU, which I need, this is great. And I've also thrown in a free clear case. Also good, because I have dropped these phones before a couple of times. So there's the box of it. Very standard looking. Oppo R9S Plus. Let's get it open. So it has actually already been opened up. I haven't opened it. The sellers put Google Play on there for me. Now it's a black version. So not the typical white face and gold rare that I normally see. So I'll put the phone to the side for a second. There's a SIM tool there. Power supply is rated to 5 volts, 4 amps, which is an unusual output. Normally I don't see 4 amps, 3 maximum, and they normally go 12 volts, 1.25. Cable here, of course, which is a standard micro USB 2, unfortunately not Type-C, which is a little disappointing considering the price of this. And in here we have some earphones. They look to be reasonable kind of quality. Normally the ones you get in the box I don't particularly like, but they look a little cheap to me. Not cheap. Sorry, I take that back. They don't look too bad. And it seems we have more hidden away inside this. There is actually a factory case for it, which is good, and a screen protector, which seems to be the tempered glass type there. Now, I don't know where my seller put this one in, or that actually came from Oppo themselves. Leaflets here in Chinese. Now, this phone's only going to have Chinese and English on it. No, there doesn't seem to be any English whatsoever on any of those. So it comes in this protective slip here. That's probably just to stop it from getting scratched up when it's in transit. So I'm just going to see if I can slip it hopefully out of this, which I can. That's good. So straight away you can see 2.5D glass. Build quality looks good. So along the bottom here you can see the loudspeaker there. Next to it, the micro USB 2 port, microphone, and 3.5mm headphone jack. Along the top, the secondary microphone for noise cancellation, and that would obviously be used for video as well. Flash, and the camera module, you can see just sticks out, I would say, about 0.5 millimeter. There is the SIM tray there next to the power on button. So just to point out, on the label on the back here, you can see that it can take 2 nano SIMs or a micro SD card, which is great to see that it does have micro SD card support, with so many phones nowadays missing out on this feature. And on the left side, the 2 volume buttons. Now these are made out of metal, they have a quality feel to them, and they don't rattle around. And there's that front-facing fingerprint reader. Now it's not a physical button, so it doesn't click in at all. Okay, so just powering it up now. So I'm hoping that the combination of a 1080p screen plus a 4000 milliamp hour battery and the Snapdragon 653 is going to mean this mobile has good battery life. And I hope that the camera is also going to be quite good on this. Okay, so there was just a notification came through. The loudspeaker seems to be pretty loud to me. They'll put it in English. And hopefully the Play Store is on there. I can see they've used the Google Play installer. I'm very familiar with that app. So first impressions of the screen, that's looking really good. Not bad. Of course, that's can't be full brightness. Let's tweak that up a little. It's set on auto. So that now is full brightness, which is extremely bright. I need to tone down the ISO on my camera to capture all that. So you can see there are a lot of Chinese bloatware applications on here. That's to be expected. And it's got a very ISO feel about it. And look at the icons. I mean, just look at that settings icon there. You can really see what I mean here. Some of those icons, just the style of them is such a rip-off there. So I'm hoping that most of this stuff I can uninstall. And it seems we can. Look, a lot of that bloatware stuff like QQ, WeChat, I can get rid of that, which is great. I mean, I don't want that rubbish on there. Tencent Video. So it's just hopefully going to leave the essential apps on there that you'd probably need. So have a look in the settings menu now. You can see scrolling up and down there. It's, I wouldn't say laggy, but it's not, to me, a full 60 frames per second there. Now, find where settings is, wherever they've hidden that. Where is it? System updates. About phone. Here we go. Okay, so Color OS version 3, Android version 6.0.1, and you can see there that it's the Snapdragon 653, 6GB of RAM, and I have 51GB available to me. Might be hard to make out on camera, but there are backlit menu keys. You just see them either side there. Little arrow, then the square for recent apps, and free available RAM there, almost 5GB out of the 6. Okay, so it's time to test out now the front-facing fingerprint reader. So you're just going into add fingerprint, and then I'm going to use my thumb for this one. I'll have to do this, I think, 10 times. 10 times is normally the standard. And that has been done. Oh, it's telling me now to adjust my grip. So just going to move my thumb a little bit more. Now I'm doing this very quick. Let's have a look and see how quick it is. That was really good. Try that again. Almost instant. Not bad at all. Very quick size comparison here. So on the far right, we have the Samsung Galaxy S7 5.1 inches. Then the Xiaomi Mi 5S 5.15. Then my Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge Plus at 5.7. Then of course the Oppo R9S Plus. And lastly on the left is my 6.4 inch Mi Max. And it comes in at 192 grams. And the thickness is 7.7 millimeters, which is quite good. That's on the body. Where the camera is 8 millimeters. Alright, so it doesn't have a bad loudspeaker on there. I can actually hear a hint of bass in there, and it topped out at almost 92 decibels, which is really good. For those interested, here is the Antutu 6.2.7 score. Very good, almost 100,000. Well, it's about 7,000 off, isn't it? But not bad, I think, for this chipset, for the Snapdragon 635. Good scores throughout there. Now look now at the camera application, which again has an ISO feel and look to it. So we've got some different filters up here. Oh, actually, that's just to turn on the timers, standard, rectangle, your viewfinder. So different settings there, so you can change that. You want a rectangle, whatever. Full screen, I think, looks best. Other options we have, so this is the first time I've actually used that. So we've got Ultra HD, filters, double exposure, expert mode. I'll quickly go into that. So that's going to give me a lot more options there. So we've got ISO, exposure, white balance, shutter speed, focus control. That's really good. Lots of controls there. Going to go into video very quickly and see the options we've got. So 720p, this should go all the way up to 4K, which it does. 4K mode there. Now, it's my understanding that this camera has optical image stabilization. So I'm going to go outside soon and just take some snaps before I lose sunlight, and a couple of video samples too from both the front and rear 16 megapixel cameras to check out the quality of that. Only briefly, it's just a first glimpse. So this has been shot in 4K, and I can see that, yeah, it does have optical image stabilization. You can tell I'm walking along. It's doing a very good job. So I have a quick look at the focus. See if I can get it to focus up on something close. So far it looks to be doing a good job. So here's a sample for the front-facing camera. Got a noisy motorbike in the background. It can shoot in a maximum of 1080p, and it seems to be handling the changes, the auto white balance from dark to light, not too bad there. Overall, from what I can see, the quality seems really quite good out of both of the cameras on this phone so far. So looking good so far, the R9S Plus. It's a large 6-inch screen, which is a very nice screen that it's got on there. Now we've got ample 6GB of RAM, 64GB of storage, and of course, micro SD card support, which is great to see because a lot of the mobiles I've been looking at recently just do not have that, which is something I really love to have on a mobile phone. Now the rest of the performance of this, I'm going to do more benchmarks, not just Antutu. There's going to be a few others in there. I'm going to test out the GPS, call quality, wireless, you name it, battery life, gaming performance. That's all coming in my full review, and I do hope to catch you then. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye for now.